Hello, I'm Madam Jacqueline. I'll be taking you through statistics, and in this case, I remember statistics like we defined in our first class. We said statistics is basically a science of how you can do data collection. There is organization of data, there is presentation of data, there is analysis, and then we have interpretation of data. So today on this video, I want us to discuss organization of data. And the organization of data, we have classification and tabulation of data. In this case, classification we covered in our lesson. So on tabulation, I want us to discuss how you're supposed to come up with a table, basically, because that's all about tabulation. So here I have a question. I have a question whereby the question we're supposed to arrange our information in a tabular form, that is a tabular form. So in this question, the key part when you're coming up with a table, you have to interpret the information in the information given, so that you can be able to know what are you supposed to place in your columns and what are you supposed to place in your rows. Remember the table. The key thing about a table, there must be columns and rows. And in this case, you need to determine also the total of each column, if at all there is a total in a column and a total in a row. So let's go direct to the question and see how we can develop a table from this information or from this question given here. So from the question, let's first interpret. In January 1995, a firm employed 90 staffs, of whom 79 were men. During the year, 17 staffs left and 13 of these were men. Then we have the total recruited during the year were 13, out of whom 3 were women. During 1996, wastage declined by 3 amongst men compared with 1985, that is the previous year, and no women left. 6 more men were, but 2 fewer women were recruited than in the previous year. The total number of employed on 1st January 1987 amounted to 93. So basically, in this case, we have to identify how are we going to label our either columns or rows. First, identify what is being tested here. So in this case, this is a firm. This is information from a given firm, whereby we have the total number of staffs. So we start with 1985, which is our first year. So we have asset, that is January 1995. In this case, there were 90 staff in that company. Then, so in this case, we have 90 staffs, of which we have 79, they were men. So you ask yourself, how many women are there? So in this case, we have 90 minus 79, which will give us 11 women. Then, during the same year, that is 1985, during the year, 17 staff left. So, in this case, we have another concern, whereby we have staff who are leaving the company. So, 17 staff left. 17 staff left, and 13 of these, they are men. So, we have 13 men left. So in this case, we ask ourselves, if 13 men left, how many women left, since the total is 17? So we have 17 minus 13, which is 4 women. Then, during the same year, we had recruitment in the same firm. So in this case, during the total recruited during the year were 13, out of whom 3 were women. So we have 13 recruited, of which we have how many women? 3 women. So if there were 3 women, meaning men were 10. And then we go to the next year, the other year is 1986. In 1986, wastage declined by 3 amongst men compared with 1985. So in this case, you have to compare with 1985, whereby wastage, there are those who left. In this case, the wastage declined by 3 amongst men. So in this case, wastage were 13. So meaning here, those who left, so in this case, we move on now to 1986. whereby now we have those staff left. In this case, amongst men, there were 3. So 3 less than what was there in 1985. So in this case, it means there were 10 men. And no women or woman left. So meaning this was 0. Meaning the total number of staff who left in 1986, there were 10. Then 6 more men, but 2 fewer women were recruited. 6 more men. So recruited or staff recruited. The staff who are recruited in this case. Now we have 6 more men. Here we had 10 men. So this will make up a total of 6 plus 10, which is 16 men. Then we have 2 fewer women. In this case, we had 3 women who are recruited. So in this case, that makes up, so it is 2 fewer. So this means it was only 1 woman. Meaning the total number of staff who were recruited during 1986, there were 16 plus 1, which is 17. And then after you have interpreted that information, now you need to come up with a table. And you see the last sentence here is saying that the total number of employed staff on 1st January 1987, they amounted to 1993. So after we are through with our table, the last total should be 1993. Let's see that on our table. So in this case, you have to check your information first and decide how do you want your table to look like. So in this case, we have the key things. The staff at the beginning of 1995, that is January. So we have staffs that is at January 1st. The staff in a company. So these will basically be staffs. So here we will have these are the total. This should be the total. And in this case, remember you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful here. Here we will have our January. We will have men, women, and remember we have 2 years. We have 1995 and 1996. So we must have another year. We will have a total here. Then we have men. So in this case, you have to organize. Your table must be very well organized, and your total for each column and each row should be very, very, very clear. So let's replace our information, whatever we have interpreted from our question, on our table and see whether it will make sense. So in this case, we have as at January 1st, how many employees were there? So in this case, we have 79 men and 11 women. So we have 79 and 11 women. And then the total is 90. Then we have those staff who are recruited during 1995. So in this case, 10 men were recruited and 3 women were recruited. So this makes a total of 13 staff. And then during the same year, we have those who left the company. In this case, we had 13 men and 4 women. So this makes a total of 13 plus 4, which is 17. Remember, these employees left the company. So it means when you're finding the total for this column, 13 should be minus. Here 4 should be a minus and 17 should be a minus. So that will determine the correct total number of employees who are in the company. So in this case, now here we have 79 plus 10, that will give us 89. And then you minus 13, that will give us a total of, so we have 89 minus 13, this is 9 minus, this is 6. then we have 8 minus 1, which is 7. So here we have 76. Then here we have 11 plus 3 minus 4. So 11 plus 3 is 14. Then you minus 4, this will give us a 10. Here we have 90 plus 13. So in this case, something else, you realize that if you find the total for this part, that is this portion here, the total should be equal to this. Let's see. So here we have 76 plus 10. This will give us 86. Let's try out here. So 90 plus 13. 90 plus 13. This is 103. Then you minus 17. So 13 minus 7 is, this is, it is 6. 9 minus 1, 8. Which give us the same total. And then we go to 1996. So in 1996, so remember this staff who finished 1995, they will be our staff at the beginning of 1996. So here we will have 76, 10 and 86. And then we have the staff who are recruited during the year. Here we have those who are recruited. We had 16 men and one woman. Then those who left, we have 10 men, and actually basically there was no woman who left. So remember, those who left, that's a minus. So here we have a total of 17. Here we have a total of 10 who left. So let's see our total now. So here we have 76 plus 16. You try to find somewhere rough to do this, or you use your calculator. So here we have 12. We have 92. 92 minus 10, that will give us a total of 82. Then we have the women. The women are at 1986. This is 10 plus 1, which is 11. There was no woman who left. Then we find the total here. This is 93. And you can try out on this side, other side. 86 plus 17, then you minus 10. That should be able to give you 93. So basically, that is how you convert or you tabulate the information to a table form. So on the table, we will also discuss another question on frequency distribution, and you'll be able to see another form of coming up with a table in our next lesson. Thank you. I'll give you an assignment for you to try on your own to come up with a table. Thank you.